Welcome back to Morgan's video blog, Morgan's online blog in video format. Today I'm here to talk to you about YA futures. Now, YA is big and it has been since the late 90s, but the future today doesn't look like it did 10, 20, 30 years ago. So what does the YA science fiction of today look like? At the titular panel at Worldcon 2019, I had the opportunity to listen to top professionals in the field discuss what they see coming. On the panel were Charlie Jane Anders, James Smythe, Eric Picholle, Fonda Lee, and Kristina Perez. So first, let's talk about 3 things that don't fit into the YA science fiction of today. These are things that have been in YA science fiction and maybe in the future, and as always there are exceptions to the rules, but these are trends and these are things that might not resonate so well with the YA readers today. First, a sense of inevitable progress. The golden age of science fiction brought us flying cars and space cities. From the Jetsons to Star Trek, optimism for a better world was writ large in our stories. These days, we're making our dreams a little more down to earth. Secondly, YA science fiction readers today aren't looking for angst. The 90s and 2000s taught us that angst and cynicism were grown up and mature. Spoiler alert, they're not. And teenage angst, when written especially by adult writers, far too often turns into teenage melodrama. And the third thing that YA is not really looking for in science fiction, space. With the advent of the space race, science fiction writers assumed our future was in the stars. These days, we're looking at our own planet and resources. Space right now is a hard sell in YA science fiction. This doesn't mean there aren't exceptions. This doesn't mean it won't come back around. Trends are now. So, those are the negatives. Let's talk about the positives. Here are 9 things in YA science fiction today that the readers are looking for. First off, social issues. If you've watched my channel at all, you probably have heard me talk about some of these. You don't need to evaluate them in your writing. You just need to make sure that your world contains multitudes. Related, teens don't necessarily need as much hand-holding on social issues and explanations, especially like with LGBTQ themes. Adults may need more background. Secondly, YA science fiction of today is looking at the near future. They're looking 20, 30 years ahead. They want to know what their adulthood is going to look like. They're not necessarily looking 100 or 1,000 years in the future. That is either too intimidating or too scary. Third, YA science fiction readers of today don't need you to put on the brakes. They want you to turn the emotions up to 11. As a writer, they want you to delve into your own neuroses and baggage and trauma and put that on the page. Many of the teens who are reading these books have these same neuroses and trauma and baggage, and they want to see themselves reflected on the page. And even if they don't, their friends are dealing with this and they want to see their friends reflected. And even if they don't know anyone with these neuroses and baggage and trauma, we're out there, you're out there, and this teaches them empathy and compassion and how to deal with these situations. And they might end up in these situations. Not that we'd wish it on them, but it's better to see a path forward and show them healing and ways forward, not magically all is better, but working through issues and making life happen and work despite baggage, not instead of baggage. So that was a little rambly. But anyway, next up, what are YA science fiction readers looking for? This might sound familiar. They're looking for hope. The reign of dystopia is changing. The future looks bleak and people are looking for hope. Hence, I'm linking below my introduction to Hope Punk video. Next up, YA science fiction has AI. Even if we're not there yet, we're getting really close to having, or at least being able to fake artificial intelligence. I would say some robots we have out there are kind of close to puppy dog level right now. But then there's always the whole singularity where the first artificial intelligence becomes self-aware. Are they going to be mad at us or embrace us or something in between? Another theme YA science fiction is looking for right now is genetic manipulation and transhumanism. The science is already there. It's time to explore the moral and ethical quandaries inherent within. Yes, those stories already exist. Feel free to link some below if you have some favorites. But these stories are popular and these stories need more exploration, especially in the YA spectrum. Next up, fun adventures. Who doesn't like fun adventures? Doing stuff with friends to fix things or save someone or something, or just plain wild hijinks. Another popular thing in YA science fiction, number 8, is hackers. Hackers are more and more becoming the heroes of the stories. Look at some of the most popular videos lately. What do you see? Hackers? Video games? Yeah, they're out there. And they're popular, very popular. Next, number 9, online friendships. Friendships aren't always local these days. Plenty of friendships have either started or moved online as distance becomes less of a constraint. And finally, number 10 for futures of YA science fiction, mixed media. So with text conversations and real-world descriptions put together, mixed media storytelling is getting bigger. Our teens, that's where they live. Half their life is online, on their phone, through videos and texts and Instagrams and pictures and everything else. And then there's real-world interaction. And their stories want to reflect that. There is the feeling it might feel dated, but that's what they're looking for right now because it really, speaks to their generation. So clearly, we don't actually have time travel machines, and these trends were all guesses, and YA trends change faster than any other genre. So let me know what you think is coming for YA. Did the panelists get it right? And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll be back again soon with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye for now.